And I am joined by NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel, who is in Jerusalem, and MSNBC political contributor Ben Rhodes, former deputy national security advisor for former President Obama. Richard, I want to start with you in the region. What are you hearing from both sides about the prospects of a ceasefire? How realistic is this that it's imminent, Richard?
Well, just in the last hour or so, the violence has intensified quite significantly. Hamas has fired dozens of rockets that landed in several Israeli cities, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Beersheba, and at the same time, there have been more airstrikes, including two that appeared to be targeted strikes on vehicles in Gaza City. Palestinians are describing those as targeted potential assassinations. So things have intensified in the last hour or so. 2 hours from now, the Israeli cabinet is expected to meet and discuss a ceasefire. And there was reports that in that cabinet discussion, they may set a deadline or set a start time for a ceasefire tomorrow morning. So what we could be seeing right now is last licks, unfinished business, or a bit of messaging with Hamas saying that it forced the ceasefire, that it was not brought to its knees, that it forced Israel to come to the table, and Israel trying to send the exact opposite message, that it is potentially going to agree to a ceasefire on its own terms at a time and place of its choosing. So they are still fighting right up to the wire. That wire could be coming soon. We'll see what happens in this security cabinet meeting, but it does not look like we're going to have a ceasefire today. We certainly don't have one right now. Perhaps tomorrow morning, but this is still an evolving situation as the rockets are still flying and the airstrikes are still taking place.
Richard, you describe an incredibly volatile situation, and you've obviously covered the region there for years. Even if there is a ceasefire, how difficult is it for a ceasefire to hold, given the volatility that you're witnessing there on the ground?
A ceasefire, frankly, in long term would be meaningless. It would stop this immediate round. It would put a Band-Aid over the wound that is bleeding right now. But the patient is still sick. The two sides remain very, very far apart, worlds apart. You have Gaza, which is a sealed-off territory, home to about 2 million people. The people in Gaza describe it as a prison, and in a lot of ways it is a prison. One of the things that they are asking for is more access to humanitarian goods. We spoke to a UNICEF rep earlier today, just as a minor example, but an important example of what it's like in Gaza. And the UNICEF representative told us they have trucks right now that they're trying to get into Gaza, but they've been blocked on the Israeli side. And on those trucks are 10,000 COVID vaccines. That kind of need for humanitarian assistance is constant. That's just in Gaza. Then here in Jerusalem, a massive flashpoint city between Palestinians and Israelis and Israeli settlers. The issue of land confiscation, home confiscation. Then the West Bank, which is divided between walls and fences. So there are many, many outstanding Palestinian issues, none of which are going to be resolved. Many outstanding Israeli demands, primarily the demand for security, which is not going to be resolved. But what we could see is a dramatic escalation, an end to this round of violence. And that would be potentially a start to build on something better. But they're not even really discussing that right now. They're just talking about ways to stop this round and perhaps lay the groundwork for going forward with the diplomatic process potentially.
Richard Engel reporting from Jerusalem as